Hi, parents. It's nice to see you virtually. I apologize for not being there live on back to school night. I wish I could be there. I had a rescheduled wedding due to COVID, and it fell on a Wednesday night, which of course happened to fall right on our back to school night. And I apologize, but this is the next best thing because I wanted to reach out to you and show you some of the cool things we are doing in physical science for your ninth grade kids. I have all freshmen in this class, and I'll show you a little bit about what we're doing in there, and I'll even tell you a little bit about me. I'm Mr. Adamucci, but you can just call me Anthony. Before I begin, I want to show you my email. If you need anything at all, please pause this video and write that email down. It's the best way to reach me. And I can answer your questions on anything need be as we get through the year and as we're going in this class. A little bit about me. I was actually born in California. I did not grow up in Philly. And you may be wondering, why did I leave Southern California? I was down in San Diego area with beautiful weather. My family's still there. I have some family out in Philly. But as you can see from this picture, I was never a big surfer. I was always a mountains person. I loved fishing. I've even gotten into fly fishing and love the outdoors and nature. And I love the snow, as you can see the mountains in the background. And so as a result, California, as beautiful as it is, does not have a lot of rain, does not get much snow. And so I was ready for a change and was able to move out to Philly 7 years ago. In my 20s, I moved out there, and now in my 30s, I am enjoying Pennsylvania life. I have a home out here. I can afford it. There's not much traffic out in the greater Philadelphia area as there is in San Diego. So I've been really enjoying that. I got a science degree from UC San Diego, and as it went with my loving nature and being outside and wondering how things worked, and I even worked in a lab a little bit right after my science degree. But I didn't like the lab. I liked working with people, and I liked the connections that I made when I was doing coaching. When I was in a lab, I love sports, as you could tell from my Phillies hat. I've always loved sports, and so I love Philly sports. Phillies, Eagles, Flyers. I love all that. I'm not a huge San Diego sports person. My dad got me into the Philly sports because he's originally from here. And so I was coaching and really loved those connections. And even when I worked in the lab, I hosted a field trip where 7th grade students came in, and I really loved it after I was done with it. And so I said, I think teaching's for me. So that got my teaching certificate and got me going into the teaching world. And that's what's led me here. I've been 6 years in Hatboro. I love the community. I love the students. They're great. I love the parents. It's been a great community. I loved working out here. And I haven't looked back since. I have no plans to move back to California. So that's a little bit about me and what some of the things I like to do. Let's see about what they're going to be doing in the class here. As you're probably wondering, what is my kid going to do in the physical science, 9th grade? It is a great introductory course and really starts getting them going into a science field and if science is really a path for them. We start with our general science intro and how to think like the science method in scientific ways, how to back things up with data and evidence, and how we look into things. So they actually look at different methods and they learn about how to read graphs, measurement, and even safety that goes in with those experiments. We just did a paper towel lab where we looked at Harper Horsham paper towels that the school provides and paper towels from Bounty at the grocery store. And we saw which one of those are better, and we did evidence to see which one of those absorbed the most water. So that's kind of an example of the stuff that we do. And now that we're all back in the classroom, yay, we're all back. No more virtual with kids at home. We're able to do hands-on labs, which is really, really nice. It's nice to have everybody back again. We even go into density, volume, and mass, along with the phases of matter, so they have a general understanding there. We even get into solutions and how to make concentrations. We'll even look at applications and how, when they look at these applications, how can they use these techniques that they learn in the lab to solve how to separate sludge and what other chemicals are in there. So the sludge test is a big part of this class as well. Afterwards, we get into the chemistry, and they'll get a nice review of chemistry and a nice little area for it if that's something for them. I'll even go into atomic theory and matter, periodic table, periodic law, and the bonding types, and even reactions. So they will get to work with the Bunsen burners. They'll get to work with fire, which is really cool. They get a nice science lab setting. It's a very lab-based class. And at the very end, they'll get an introduction into physics and engineering to see if that's a path that they possibly might want to pursue in their future. So, a really cool class and a great introductory class for someone just coming into high school. I really think it's perfect for freshmen. I'm glad they're getting this opportunity. What does their typical day look like in science? I post the agenda on Canvas every day, and students are starting to get comfortable of where that is. Whoops. And what happens is they go to their Canvas page, and they go to their physical science, and in the announcements, I post what they're doing. I'll even have a week at a glance to see if there's any tests that week, or what big assignments are coming, and what they're doing during the day. In their assignments in Canvas is where they'll post their work of what they've done. All their assignments are done in their OneNote folder. They are completely paperless. As wild as this sounds, I've only been teaching for about 12 years, and in that 12 years, it has changed dramatically. At this school, gone are the days of the paper and the binder with the papers all in there and the papers in the backpack. That is done. We are in the virtual world, and that all their papers are in their OneNote notebook. And this is an example of their OneNote notebook. Their name pops up, and they have 3 sections in my class. Their handouts, their class notes, and their warm-ups are all there. Oftentimes, we'll do a warm-up in the beginning of the period, which goes on material that we learned the day before. We'll even pass out afterwards these handouts, and in these handouts, they will do their work for the day. I even have class notes. And in these class notes, in these class notes, you will see the different notes that I pass out to them. Okay? Of what we've done, we even started talking about independent and dependent variables and the scientific method and how that works. Okay? That is there for them. I record the lectures in Microsoft Teams. So they go to their physical science, whatever period they are, period 2 or period 4. And in there, in the meeting section, there is a lecture. And if I lectured that day, I record it. So if they are studying for a test, they can always go back and look at the notes that I've done for that week. They're all there for them. And you can see I've done 2 different notes. I did observations and inferences, and this one is on dependent and independent variables. So everything is on the computer, which is pretty crazy to me, but everything is there. They have their OneNote, their notebook. They have their Microsoft Teams to get the lectures. And, of course, they have their Canvas to turn in assignments. You can check these for them. One of the big things you want to check is their Power School. Their Power School, which looks something like this. This is their Power School. This is the teacher sign-in, but you have a parent sign-in where you could check the students' grades. What else? We do labs in the class, and in these labs in the class, we usually start off within rows, and then once we do a lab, they go to their lab stations and work on those labs. Classwork examples could be creating a PowerPoint, they could be doing a lab report, or they could be practicing something we learned. Their math is nothing too complicated. There is some algebra involved in finding missing variables, but nothing too crazy, all doable. I don't give much homework. If there is homework, it's something in classwork that we didn't finish. So that's usually what becomes homework. But it's never at the end of the day, here's homework. It's usually something that they've been working on, and they just need to finish it. I am also available in Study All Hats during A and B, and they're always welcome to come by and get extra help for that. Their materials that they need. All they need is their laptop charger, and their working stylus. That's it. A calculator is nice, but they also have it on their computer. That's it. Nothing else needed. Everything is on the computer. We are paperless, as crazy as that sounds. So everything is on their computer, so they need their laptop charger. They have to charge their laptop up. And to be honest with you, kids have done better with this than me. They are more in that computer age and that computer mindset. This was more of an adjustment for me than I felt like it was for them. They pretty much have gotten it. They're used to their OneNote. And watch them. Ask them to pull something up on their OneNote, and they'll do it for you. My grading scale is standard. Most of my grade is based on their assessments, their tests and quizzes, what they know. If they bomb a test, which happens, I've bombed many tests, they can come by to study hall in the middle of the day, and they can make that test up and get second chance learning to bring it up to a passing grade, which is helpful for them, and they have that opportunity if need be. The second part of the grade is based on their projects and lab reports. On there is where they have many labs that we do, which is a big part of their grade, and we are pretty laboratory based for this class, so that's a big part of their grade. Very small part of their grade is their bell work and classwork, their warm-up, stuff like that that we do that they get practice on where they're learning the information. Here's a nice little picture. I know we're all wearing masks, but I'm so happy that we're back. So we're doing labs. They're going to be in there doing stuff. This is from my alma mater, UC San Diego, this picture. We'll be in there working on labs, getting things going. Like I said, we just did a paper towel lab to see which paper towels work best. To no one's surprise, it was the Bounty paper towels from the grocery store, which are more expensive, but they definitely worked better. There's my email again if you guys need it. Again, I apologize for not making it tonight. Please email me with anything. I look forward to working with your students. I look forward to working with you. This is Mr. Adamucci signing off. Thank you guys again, and have a great night.